A few weeks ago, someone asked me if I would share a little bit more about what life is like here in the villages, and I said, okay, I can do that. So today I'm going to give you just a little practical tour of what it's like living in the villages, what you can expect, how things are organized, what type of facilities they are, what the life is really like here in the villages. If you're new here, welcome in. I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 woman. I'm so glad you stopped by. I hope you'll consider subscribing before you leave and make sure you click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Today, I'm going to just walk you through life here in the villages and try to give you a little better understanding of what it's really like. When you talk to someone about the villages, the most common topic that will come up is the lifestyle. And I think that that is the premier selling point to life here. It's the lifestyle. It's not that this is the most beautiful place on the planet. It's pretty, but it's not the most beautiful place. It's not that it's the most connected or it has the most exquisite theater or restaurants. None of those things. What is really exceptional about the villages is the lifestyle. And I've often said that because there is so much community involvement and so much to do here, that you would really have to work so very hard to either be bored or lonely. You really would. There's so much to do here. So today, my little co-pilot, Lucy, if you don't know Lucy, this is my little doodle, Lucy. She loves riding in the golf cart. And one of the things that you'll see around the villages everywhere is dogs riding in golf carts. They seem to just love it. It's kind of like riding in a car, only there's a whole bunch of air around you and lots to smell. So she absolutely gets so excited when we get to ride around on the golf cart. Where we're going to start is just in my village. And let me explain how the villages is arranged. There are little neighborhoods throughout the villages now. Oh my gosh, I don't know how many neighborhoods there are. There's probably over 100. It literally takes more than 40 minutes to drive from the north end of the villages all the way down to the south villages. It is huge, and I don't know how many homes are here now or how many people. It is growing, and it's very popular. They're always doing new construction. So it's divided up into little villages, and each village has a name, like the village of Finney or the village of St. Catherine. So every village is kind of a little neighborhood, and they call it a village. And you're often greeted by people with, "Hi, I'm Bob. I live in the village of blah, 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 blah," just so people can get a feel of where you are in the villages. And there is a social dynamic or kind of a sense of belonging with each village. And some people have t-shirts about their village. Some people say our village does this, does that. There's really a very friendly camaraderie with people who live in a village. So let's start driving through my village, and I'll point out some of the things that you might find fun and entertaining about living in a village. Most everyone who lives in the villages has a golf cart. It's really a common mode of transportation because you can get anywhere within the entire village's complex, all the way up north to all the way down south in your golf cart. They have created golf cart streets, tunnels, bridges. You can go over the freeway. You can go under streets with the golf cart paths throughout the villages. So a lot of people pretty much just take their golf cart places. They'll take it to a party, they'll take it to one of the squares for dinner, they'll take it out to the square for dancing. You really only need your car if you're going to be going off the property. And each village is designed with walking paths that can also be used for bike paths in some instances. And then each village has different facilities depending on what is created there. There's pickleball courts, there's tennis courts, there's swimming pools, there's bocce ball, there's that cornhole thing, there's outdoor gym equipment similar to what we used to see when probably we were in high school, where it was, you know, a park courts outside. They have a lot of those facilities here as well. So where I'm driving to right now is one of the pool facilities here in my village. And this is the adult pool. So when grandkids are visiting, this is not the pool they go to. They go to another pool, and I'll show you that next. So this is the adult pool in my neighborhood. It's one of two pools, and we'll go walk over and take a look. Here's the adult pool facility. It has restrooms. It has a beautiful view of the pond in the back. Lots and lots of chaise lounges and picnic tables. So really everything you need to enjoy a glorious day out in the sun in a beautiful setting. These are open 365 days out of the year, unless of course they're doing repairs. But this is part of living here, one of the facilities that's available to all the residents. Over here, you can see there's, I think, is that bocce ball? People are playing bocce ball. And then in the far area there, that's the dog park. And as we walk closer to this area over here, you can see that there's a walking path that goes around the pond. Now, one thing to keep in mind here in the villages, we live in Florida, Central Florida, there are alligators. And there's alligator sightings a lot around here because they live here. So they live in these ponds over here, and they travel from pond to pond through the pipes. So sometimes you'll see a large alligator that's living in this pond, and then he'll move to the other pond. So it's something that it's, you know, it's a neat thing to be able to see an alligator, but you do need to be aware of them. Just want to show you that I am representing here in my golf carts. That's the front of my golf cart. No confusion about who drives this one. So it was just a short, maybe 45-second drive from the adult pool to here we are at the family pool. This is where you go if your grandkids are in town or if you just want the bigger facilities here at this pool. They do keep the water in the mid-80s all year round. Again, the pools are open all year round. Right now, it's about the 20th of March, and you can see everyone's out here hanging out by the pool. So nice lifestyle here in the villages. Mail is not delivered to your house here. There are these mailbox centers in each neighborhood, and everyone gets a little like post office box. And it is the postal service that delivers here, but the address is actually the villages instead of the town that you live in. It's almost like we have our own little community here, and so USPS does deliver here, but they come directly to the post office boxes. I keep a mail key in both my car and in my golf cart, so that depending on whether I'm in my golf cart or in my car as I'm zipping by the mailbox center, I can check my mail. Here's a peek at the racket facilities in my village. So there's tennis, there's also pickleball, and also on the very end, you probably can't see it, through those fences is a sand volleyball court. I'll take you on over there and I'll also show you the path to the outdoor park course. So there are some people playing on the outdoor sand volleyball court. And then right next to that is a little gazebo with picnic tables, and you can use these. All you have to do is just, reserve them. They're no charge. It's all part of living here. So these people are having a little picnic party underneath a gazebo. And then over here on the right, you can see the start of the walking path that goes along the park course, and you can see the equipment right there and there and there all along, and you can actually work out outside. Now over here is yet another pond. We have ponds all over the villages, and they're very pretty. They're actually holding ponds. This is the water they use for the landscaping. So this is where the alligators live. And one of the things you do need to be careful about is, keeping an eye out when you're outdoors, particularly in the spring during mating season. I always check under my second car, which is outside. It's not in my garage, when I'm walking around the driveway, because I want to make sure that an alligator is not underneath my car. So beautiful facilities in this village, but this village is not unique. You can see there's the cornhole right there. This is what they have in almost every village throughout the community. Now the recreational activities are going to be different. Some people may not have a sand volleyball court, but they'll have something else. So when you're looking at where you're going to move to in the villages, you might want to make sure that the particular sport that you're interested in is something that's available either in your village or a village close to you. Keep in mind that you can absolutely go to any facility in any village. It's not exclusive to the residents of that village. This whole community is available to all the residents. In addition to all the facilities in the neighborhoods and the rec centers, they also have squares. And what is a square? A square can kind of be considered like a town center. Right now there are 4 of them, and I believe the 5th one is going to be ready within the next year. It's a huge one. The square is kind of a congregation place for members of the villages or residents of the village. There are restaurants, there are shops, there are places to go walk, and in the middle of every square is a dance, an outdoor dance floor. There is music here at the villages 365 days a year. I'm not kidding you. The only time there's not music is if it's a weather issue. Like if there's lightning, if it's thunder and storming, then they'll call the music for that night. But dancing in the evening at the villages is a huge thing. The squares are generally packed every night. The music starts at 5, it goes until 9 o'clock. And they really have good bands. They're like really good bar bands that come out and play. A lot of them have a cult following, so when people say, oh, this band's coming or that band's coming, there'll be a huge swath of people that come out. You can bring your own chairs to the square, or they have chairs there. So I happen to live right near Brownwood Square. Let's go on over there right now and take a look. So we just went through a tunnel. Now we're going to be going up and over on a bridge over Highway 44. So it's super easy to get around because they've made it very, very convenient for golf cart living. There's the highway down there, and we're on the bridge. More ponds. And this takes us right up into the backside of Brownwood Square. And there must be something going on here today because it's absolutely crowded. You can come into the square from many different directions. There's always a ton of parking, and there's also a ton of golf cart parking. If it's a regular parking spot for a car, they'll generally put 2 golf carts in that parking space. One will park up front and one will park on the opposite side towards the back. So it looks like the farmer's market is going on here today. I didn't think it'd still be going on, and that's why we have so many people here. One thing I want to point out is you can see the restaurants all around the square, and in the middle is an actual square. And there's a bandstand for the band, and there's bleacher seats. And this is where everyone goes in the evening. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people go in the evening to listen to music and dance. So we'll take a little tour around the square. We won't be able to get all on the inside area because they have it blocked off. But we'll kind of go around the perimeter and take a look. I went ahead and parked the golf cart right over there. Lots of golf cart parking. And we'll just take a quick little tour around the square. You can see one of the restaurants here, and most of the restaurants have outdoor seating, and a lot of them have music in addition to being able to sit outside. They're just now wrapping up the farmer's market. That happens on Saturday morning at Brownwood Square. I've come up here quite a bit. Some nice things. And I'm going to take you over to the dance area. This can get so crowded in the evenings that there'll be lawn chairs all the way on the sidewalks, 40. In addition to all around the dance floor, on top of all those benches and bleacher seats they have. So over here, right there, is the bandstand, and that's where the band plays. And then this area in the middle will generally be lined with chairs up to a certain point, and then the dance floor is out here in the middle. And I'm telling you what, they can get crowded and wild. It's really quite fun. So I'll give you a 360 of the square. There we go. And you can see there's businesses and restaurants all up and down. There's everything from a pet store that has a groomer in it to a pharmacy, lots of different restaurants, a cookie shop, just a wide variety of businesses. So it's a very convenient place to be able to go to meet friends for lunch, maybe do a little bit of shopping, clothing stores. Also in the evenings they have a bar open. It's open right now because the farmer's market was here, but you can order a cocktail and go on in and dance with your friends. It's really quite fun. In addition to everything I've showed you about the facilities that are provided by the villages, my hair's a little wild for riding around in the golf cart, there are over 600 clubs here in the villages. And what is a club? Well, let's say you like scrapbooking. There's a club for that. Let's say you like long distance running. There's a club for that. Let's say you're a bowler. There's a club for that. I belong to the kayak club. There's a club for anything. And to be honest with you, I don't think I've thought of a single hobby that there isn't a club for. So the clubs organized within the villages, generally you need to be a resident of the villages to be a member of the club. And they have a newspaper that comes out every week that lists all the clubs, all the different recreational centers, and what different classes they're having there, when it's open swim, when it's adult swim, when it's water volleyball. It is impossible to get bored here. I think it really would be, because if you have an interest, there's a club for that. And the clubs are organized not by the villages, but by the residents of the villages. And I think you just have to fill out some paperwork in order to start a club. So a lot of people develop their friend group from the clubs here at the villages. A lot of the clubs use the facilities at the recreation center. Remember, we saw Lake Okahumpka Recreation Center. So they'll use the facilities there to meet with their club. There's art, there's photography, there's archery, there's woodworking, there's knitting, there's clubs for different college alumni, there's clubs for different decades when you were born, there's clubs for where you used to live. It's really wild. I mean, there's so much to do here. If you're the kind of person that likes a lot to do, this might be something you want to take a look at. Well, that is a little brief outline, synopsis, conversation about what life is like here in the villages. It is rich with activity. Clearly, it's beautiful. One thing I can say, and this is a personal note, I don't know that I have come across a company, because the Villages is a company, it's probably a corporation. I have not come across a company that does something as well as the Villages. They build the houses well, they plan the communities well, they run all the squares and all this stuff well. It is clean like you can't believe. You will not see trash. Women, if you come here alone, I have never felt the least bit unsafe here. I come out here in the evenings by myself to watch people dance, hop in my golf cart and go home and don't even worry about it. It's a very, very well maintained, beautifully run community, residential community. It's just amazing to me how they do it. They have so many different divisions of this whole thing that they run, and they do it beautifully, really beautifully. If you're interested in learning more about it or coming here to experience it, they do have something called a lifestyle visit, and they're very, very popular. I did not do one. I just came down by myself, stayed in the hotel at one of the squares and walked around. But they have lifestyle visits where they actually put you up in a house with a golf cart, and you can drive around and go to the restaurants and do all the things and see how it feels for you. So quite a fun community. I think everyone here is, enjoying themselves. It's super friendly. It's one of those places where, everyone waves when they walk by. When I'm out walking Lucy, I wave at the cars, I wave at the golf carts, I wave at the other people with dogs. It's just the small town, hometown feel we remember from decades ago, only much bigger with a lot more stuff to do. So thank you so much for joining me for this dive into life here at the Villages. It really is the lifestyle that you're getting here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. You guys know it just tickles me when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything beauty, fitness, and lifestyle for the over 50 woman. Make it a great day. See you next time. Bye now.